Hi everyone, welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. Let's get started standing. Take a moment and establish a nice firm foundation through the soles of the feet. Maybe notice if there are any parts of the hips, low back, shoulders, or knees that may need to get a little bit of a release before we get started. You might even want to kick out the legs a little bit, roll out those ankles, move those shoulders around. As the body works out any wiggles, eventually come to a nice neutral position with your legs and feet. So establishing neutral for us today is bringing the hips to the width of the pelvis bones, keeping a soft bend in the knees so that we have some healthy circulation here. Let's bring one hand onto the belly and the other up to our heart. And as we inhale, breathe down into the stomach, pushing the belly muscles out. And then exhale, pull the stomach muscles in. Let's keep this rhythm with the breath for at least a minute or two. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. This is very important, this particular breathing technique, as when we inhale and push the stomach out, we're actually able to create some counter pressure from the surrounding organs and muscles into the spine to bring us a little more support. Exhale, pulling the stomach muscles in, lengthening through the spine. Just a couple more easy breaths like that. Inhale, keeping stillness in the chest. Naturally, if the breath is rising up into the chest, we're going to let it go there. Just encourage the breath to begin low in the body, always filling the belly first. Inhaling belly, maybe up to the heart, and then exhale, relax the heart. Pull the stomach muscles in. Inhaling into the belly. Maybe it rises to the heart. Exhale, relax the heart. Pull the stomach muscles in. Pull even the side waist in. Maybe even contract the buttocks muscles to create some stability through the entire core on that exhale. Inhale into the belly, maybe up to the heart. Pause. Pull the muscles up in the pelvic floor and squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. Imagine you have maybe a volleyball between the knees or a yoga block, and then slowly exhale. Relax all the muscles in the thighs and pelvis. Inhale. Pausing at the top of the breath, engage the inner thighs, pull up the pelvic floor, slowly exhale. Just a couple more like that. Relax on the inhale. At the top of the breath, pull the pelvic floor up, engage those inner knees and thighs, slowly exhale. Just one more like that. Soft on the inhale. Stomach pushes out. And then contracts the belly. Pull up through the thighs, the kneecaps, the pelvic floor, slow exhale. From here, let's bring the right hand across the chest. Left hand goes across the right. Working a little more with some brain coordination today. So we have left hand over the right hand across your chest. From here, step the left foot back. Inhale, open both arms, reach it out. Exhale, bring it forward, right arm over the left. Step the right foot back. Inhale, open. Exhale, left arm over right. Continuing to alternate, left foot back, inhale, open. Exhale, right over left. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, left over right. Just a couple more like this. Inhale, left foot back, arms open. Exhale, right over left. Right foot back, inhale. Exhale, left over right. From here, let's inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Nice big breath in. Stepping the left foot back, a casual stride. Let's bend that right knee so that we're in an active warrior one foundation. From here, with that right knee bent and that left foot back, reaching the arms towards the sky. Let's take our right arm down and around, rotating with the trunk of the body as we circle our right arm behind us and then lengthen it up. Bringing the hand down in front as if we're shaking someone's hand, taking it past the hips, circle it back, circle and twist to the right at the same time. Inhale, reach, exhale, down and around. Inhale, open, big breath in, and then exhale, down and around. Just one more, big breath in. From here, patting ourselves on the back with that right arm. Let's take our left hand back and around, and now we're rotating through the trunk of the body towards the left. Inhale, reach up, exaggerating, exhale down, twisting through the trunk of the body, reaching forward as if we're shaking someone's hand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist and rotate. One more, big breath in. Exhale, twist and rotate. From here, inhale, take that left arm up. And now exhale, bring the left hand to the low back, keeping that right elbow lengthened up towards the sky, or bring that left elbow down if there's any pain in the neck or shoulders. From here, we're leaning just a little bit over to the right, pulling up and out of the ribs, up and out of the armpits. Breathe into the upper left lung. Exhale, center. Let's come to center. Lean a little bit over to the left, pressing firmly down into that left heel, moving up into the right lung as we lean to the left. Inhale into that upper right lung. And now exhale, slowly bring it to center. Let's bring the right knuckles down to the low back, straightening our right leg. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades together, imagining we're trying to hold a golf ball between the shoulder blades. Lifting the chin, opening the throat, taking a big breath in as we look up to the ceiling, or maybe somewhere in front of us to where the wall meets the ceiling. Shifting the eyeballs with the head and the neck. Big inhale across the chest. And then exhale, relax. Two more like that. Inhale, shifting the eyes while we open the throat. Exhale, relax. Just one more. Exaggerate the inhale. Pull the shoulders back. Open the chest. Open the throat. Shift the eyes up. And now exhale, slowly relax. Let's bring the hands to the hips, softening through that right knee, and maybe bending the left knee a little as well. Let's push our hips back with a flat back. And then from here, lifting that right toe as we continue to press the hips back behind us. Hands might stay on the hip, reminding us to stay long through the spine, anchored through those hip joints. Maybe the hands travel down onto the thighs, straightening the arms so that we prop up the spine and encourage this openness in the ribs for healthy digestion. One more big breath here, pulling that right toe up. On the exhale, slowly beginning to lower our belly towards the thigh, maybe even relaxing the head and neck. And we can always reach for that lifted right toe with the right hand if it's a comfortable reach. Exhale from the throat. At least one or two more exaggerated exhales. At some point, letting go of that foot, lower the right leg, bend the right knee. Let's walk our hands up onto the thighs from a flat back, slowly bringing ourselves up to standing. Let's shake off the legs, come to center, establishing neutral pelvis and hips. One hand to the belly, one to the heart. Inhale into the belly, push the stomach out. Maybe let the breath come to your heart. Open the throat and look up. Pause, pull the muscles up in the pelvis, contract those muscles in the inner thighs. Exhale all the way. Two more like this, soft through the thighs. Inhale from the belly, maybe up to the heart. Open the throat, pause, pull the muscles up in the pelvis, squeeze the inner thighs together, and slowly exhale. One more, soft through the knees and thighs as we inhale. Lift the throat, contract the knees and the pelvis, and slowly exhale. From here, let's bring our hands to the hips This time stepping our right foot back a casual stride, keeping a healthy bend in that left knee for support. Inhaling both arms straight up and overhead, warrior one pose. From here, let's take that left hand back and around, looking behind us, working with our trunk rotation while the feet continue to anchor us and stabilize our hips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it back, sweep it through as if you're shaking someone's hand. One more, inhale, big reach. And around, keeping that right leg straight, left knee bent. Let's bring that left arm up and pat ourselves on the back. Reaching up with the right arm, now we're sweeping back to the right, circling around, matching the breath to the movement. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take it around, twisting with the exhale. Maybe add in that pelvic floor contraction. Inhale, reach. Pause, pull the muscles up in the pelvis, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Exhale. One more, big breath in. Exhale around. Let's tuck the right knuckles in by the low back. So we're patting ourselves on the back with the left hand. Right knuckles by the low back, left knee is bent, and our right leg is back straight. Let's lean a little bit over to the right, opening up that left armpit. Inhaling, pulling up and out of the left rib, dropping that right shoulder so we're making some space along the neckline. Bring it to center. Keep pressing into that right foot, and now lean to the left. Still pulling out of that left armpit, pressing the right shoulder away from the right ear. Breathe to the left lung this time. Let's bring it up to center. Taking our left hand down to our low back. Straightening our left leg for a moment. Both legs are straight, hands by the low back. Pulling the shoulders back, trying to pinch a golf ball between the shoulder blades. Pull the ribs up, open the throat, and reposition the eyes. So we're working with the optic nerves in the eyes. Big inhale into the chest. Exhale, soften the body. Two more like that. Exaggerate that inhale, drawing the breath into the lower lungs, up into the chest. Exhale, just one more. From here, let's bring our hands to the hips, bending both knees, staying light on those knees, low at that center of gravity. Let's push our hips behind us, starting to lift the left toe up, working a calf, back of the knee, and hamstring stretch into this. Also stretching along your low back, possibly even to the sides of the hips. From here, we may want to bring our left hand to the left thigh. We could even travel that left hand down to hold onto the left foot, giving a little pull up on that left toe to maybe create a little more sensation in that stretch. Inhale in place, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften a little. Maybe just two more. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, big breath out. Just one more. Inhale and exhale, sending those hips back. So we really stretch to that low back, hips and buttocks. Let's bring both hands up onto our thighs, straighten the arms. So we prop up the spine, then slowly beginning to walk those hands up and in as we lower that foot. Coming to center, placing the feet at the width of the pelvis bones, hands to the hips or thighs. Inhaling, shifting forward, lifting the heels, pulling up the ribs, and maybe even lifting the chin and opening the throat, creating some strength in our ankles and also in the calf muscles. Big inhale. Exhale, drop those heels, push the hips back, bring the hands to the thighs, Unhinging from the hips, we're dropping our belly. Maybe bend the elbows for a moment to lower that belly a little more down. Then think about lengthening your heart over your knees, starting to straighten out the arms again, coming into an exaggerated standing cow. The purpose of this pose is to not only counter the effects of sitting or long periods of standing, but also this is to squeeze out the kidneys and the adrenal glands while we open the gut. So essentially we're helping our body to rid itself of toxins, and then as we get the toxins out, we want to quickly metabolize them and push out the waste. Big inhale. Exhale, relax. Try pressing the belly against the thighs. Relax the head and the neck. Shake the head yes. And then turn that head left and right. Using our hands on the thighs to prop up the spine. Slowly coming up into standing. Let's work into those outer hips today. And this also happens to be a little bit of brain work, requiring a little bit of left and right coordination. Starting with our heels together and our toes out for this very specific IT band stretch today. Some of you may have heard the term IT band, piriformis, maybe sciatic nerve. All of these are areas we're working with today. As we soften our knees, seeing that our knees go in the same direction as our toes. Let's lift our left heel and then slide that left foot just behind the right foot. Keeping the knees bent, start pushing down into that left heel behind you, straightening the left leg, bending the right knee. At this point, we may be able to even lean back into that left leg. From here, keeping our right hand on the hip, let's open the left palm, sweeping that left arm up overhead. We'll pat ourselves on the back again. Inhale, pull up from that left elbow. Keep pressing back into the left foot. On the next inhale, we're reaching that left arm straight up to the sky as if we're holding on to 100 helium balloons. Big breath in. Big stretch all along the left side of the body, through the armpit to the fingertips. Option to lean over just a little bit towards the right. And maybe experimenting with a little bit of a neck stretch. Turning our gaze up towards that left arm just for a moment, neck strengthener. And then bring it to center, easy does it. Inhale, gentle rotation up to the left. And now center. Just one more time with that gentle neck strengthener. Reach with that left arm. Inhale, rotate, lift. Open the throat. And now exhale, bring the head and neck to neutral. Let's lower that left hand down. Bending both knees, we can lean forward, bend both knees, stepping into the right foot for support, bringing that left foot forward, both feet on the ground. Relax the hands and the shoulders. Let's check in with our foundation. Heels touching, toes out, knees are bent. Moving in the same direction as the toes, seeing those bent knees track in the direction of our toes. Hands to the hips for balance. Let's peel up that right foot, keeping a deep bend in the knees. Shifting forward with the chest, push the hips back and then sweep that right foot behind the left foot. Straightening the right leg. As we do, we can lift up and lean back into that right foot. Keeping that healthy bend in the left knee. Right leg is straight. The energy is pushing along the side of our right hip. Let's inhale, circling that right arm straight up. And then patting ourselves on the back. Inhaling, pulling up from that right armpit, maybe leaning a little over to the left. Continuing to press down and back into that right heel. with that left knee bent. Option to keep that elbow bent or inhale, straighten the arm, holding on to 100 helium balloons, or maybe leaning a little bit over to the side with that right arm. Let's work on strengthening the neck. Inhale, turning the head over to the right towards that extended arm. Big breath in. Exhale, return that head and neck to neutral. Inhaling, gentle rotation. Exhaling, neutral. Just one more. Inhale, gentle rotation. And exhale, neutral. From here, let's allow that right hand to come down to the waist for support. Shifting forward with our chest, bending the right knee. Push the hips back, finding a low and steady center of gravity. Shift into the left foot, then slide that right foot around. And from here, we can come up into standing. Let's turn the toes forward and take the legs out wide into a standing straddle. Inhaling both arms up and overhead, pressing the palms in as if we're holding on to a bowling ball. Inhale, reaching out from the side body and armpits. Big breath in. Exhale is really exaggerated, making space for every fresh inhalation. When you're ready, one more big inhale, reach. And now exhale, swan dive, hands coming down to the hips or thighs. Hips are pushing back behind us. We can even turn the toes in a little bit. Option to come down halfway at the most. From here, we're taking our right hand across to the left thigh, and the left knuckles tuck into the low back. As we inhale, let's draw that left shoulder back, creating a little more of a twist in our standing straddle today. What usually happens in this pose as we twist to the left, the right hip will drop in. So think about trying to lift your right hip up, push into that left foot to keep the hips leveled, and then add in that twist and that swivel at the waist. One more big breath in here. Exhale, bring both hands to the thighs. Maybe drop the head and the neck and slide those hands down towards your feet. Relaxing the low back, taking any compression out of that lumbar spine area. Shaking out the head and the neck. Let's slowly begin to walk the hands up the legs to the thighs, finding a neutral spine, flat back. Taking our left hand across to the right thigh, right knuckles to the low back. As we inhale, drawing that right shoulder back. And what will most commonly happen is that left hip will twist in. So think of pushing into the right foot to lift that left hip, keeping the hips leveled to the ground. Looking over the right shoulder, there is a neck strengthening element in this twist as well. Inhaling big. Exhale. One more inhalation with this strengthening pose. And now exhale. Both hands coming down the legs. Again, relaxing the back. Maybe inch the heels and the feet towards each other just a little bit. And then from here, we'll bend the knees, walk the hands up to the thighs, pause for a moment, just being kind to our blood pressure. From here, slowly walking those hands up and then shaking off the whole body. All right, let's move this into a quadricep and hip stretch. So when we sit, naturally the quadricep muscle it's partially being stretched, but what's also happening is there is a tightness in the inner hip that can develop. So for this particular stretch, we're going to target the upper insertion points of the quadricep. to do this stretch. You do not have to have a prop. I do like to use a chair or a wall so that I don't have to think about balance so much. I can focus more on the stretch. From here, I have my left hand on my prop, standing on my left leg. I'm lifting the right leg up, and I might just hold it here, and I can even just push back through the foot, maybe curling that heel up, a heel to glute, or reach back, maybe take that right arm forward as if you're going to shake someone's hand, and then bring it up and around, big circle, looking back, and then holding on to the foot or the ankle here. Keeping a softness in that standing leg as we continue to press that right knee back, opening up the front of the right hip. For a little extra or added balance challenge today, we can take the left hand up away from our prop, maybe even reach that left arm, extend it out in front of you to find dancer's pose. Stretching from the inside of the hip to the opposite armpit. At least 1 or 2 more big breaths here. When your body is ready, let's lower an arm for support. Release that leg off and then shake it all off again. All right, let's do the other side. I have my right hand on my prop, standing on my right foot, bending the left knee, maybe holding it here. Flamingo pose, maybe taking the right hand away. Option to bring that left arm forward as if we're shaking someone's hand, and then bring it up and circle it back with the thumb down. We're reaching for our shoe, maybe our ankle, or even a pant leg will work. Let's keep a softness in that standing right knee. Pressing that left knee back to open the front of the left hip. Option to extend that right arm out, so we're stretching from the left hip to the right armpit. At least 2 more big breaths here. Steady with that breath. 1 more. Let's lower the right hand, lower the leg, and again, shake it all off. All right, our final stretch from seated. One of the more common ones in stretches in helping to correct our posture and also to give us better breath is a seated chest expansion. And this is one that I like to do at least every 15 minutes if I'm seated for a long time. So I suggest setting a timer if you find that you're seated at your desk for long periods of time to remind you to check in with this stretch. For this one, I sit at the edge of my chair, sitting nice and tall, inhaling, circling the arms back, reaching for the outside back of the chair. So we could always reach low for the seat of the chair. In fact, this is a lot kinder on the rotator cuff. Over time, maybe walking those hands up from the seat to the back of the chair. This will create more shoulder extension. So it's going to help with our shoulder mobility, and it will strengthen the muscles behind the heart that act like a pulley system in the spine. So from wherever those hands are, either they're on the seat pulling up while we lengthen through the spine and lean forward, or the hands are behind us. No matter where those hands are, the chest is opening and we're shifting our weight forward just a little bit, establishing our seated chest expansion. Feeling as if the hips can flip back just a little bit. The energy of cow pose is in this seated chest expansion. We might feel when we press our shoulders away from the ears, we might feel that there's a little squeeze along the sides of the spine into the low back. Try not to let that scare you, that little squeeze. There are muscles there that we do want to keep awake that support our posture. And sometimes we misinterpret that squeeze as an unhealthy spine compression, but this is different. These are muscles that we want to have engaged. Keeping those shoulders rolled down and back, pressing away from the ears. Keep leaning forward. Maybe lift the chin and open the throat. And maybe lift the eyeballs, shift the gaze straight up. Relax your jaw. Breathe into the center of the chest. One more big breath. And now slowly bring it to neutral. So the benefit in that pose is that when we sit for long periods of time, usually our spine will naturally do this. In order for us to come to neutral, we have to exaggerate the opposite of that slunt or crouched over movement. So if we're like this, we need to do this so that we can come here, neutral spine. All right, from a healthy neutral spine, let's all close with some mindful breathing. Again, one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. Lower your chin, breathe down into your belly. Let that breath move to the sides of the waist and then let it come up behind the heart. Exhale, soften the shoulders, soften the belly, the side ribs, and even the low back. Just a few more like this. Inhale, belly, through the ribs, up to the heart, and even behind the heart with that breath. Exhale, relax the shoulders, the ribs, the side waist, the low back. Relax the pelvis and knees. One more, big breath in, pulling the breath in and down to the belly. Let it fill the lungs up to the heart. Let it fill that space behind your heart. Exhale, soften the whole body. From here, we can bring the palms of our hands together as our final closing gesture, taking in a big unifying breath together. And then let it go with a sigh. Two more like that. Inhale. Sitting tall with that big breath. Exhale, let it all go. Just one more. From here together, we can close with a bow. Namaste, everyone. My smile meets your smile. Have a great day and keep on breathing.